Carlos and Ryan, and we know that you're dying to hear what we have to say today. I say we hear what we have to say today. It's the blank. Fill it in. Fill it in. Fill it in. Yeah.
Oh, my goat.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Young world. I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is The Blank with Carlos and Ryan.
Today's gonna be a really interesting episode.
A disappointing one, really.
Yeah. I'm actually interested to see how it goes because I am not prepared whatsoever for this episode.
Yeah. He had one job at this event to just be awake.
Yeah.
But
couldn't even do that.
Yeah, no. So,
but we'll definitely get into that.
Yeah.
But everybody, thank you for joining for another week.
Yeah.
I hope you find this funny. Definitely an exposure to my flaws. But happy Thursday. Definitely happy Thursday. Thank you everybody for joining for another week. We're hoping you're having a great week in itself. If you're listening to this on Friday, then happy Friday, and I hope you're enjoying the Friday coming up, which is dope. But yeah, no, today's episode is actually gonna be really, I think it's gonna be funny. And for those who know me, definitely have known my behavior. And the reason why we chose to do this episode was actually due to an event that Carlos and I both went to. Unfortunately, I barely attended, but we'll get into that.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a long story. It's pretty short. But yeah, we'll delve into that in a bit. But let's just start off with recent news. Dun, 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 dun.
I wanted to talk about Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi?
Yeah. And how like he came out in like the dress recently.
Okay.
And I think like
this is news. All right, go for it.
Well, I like I don't really understand what was going on because he seemed like everything was just like going perfectly fine. He's doing good music. Came out with Kanye. They just did Kanye's last album, like Donda.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, now he's been showing up to like public events in like a wedding dress kind of thing.
Mm.
So it's like, what happened?
Apparently, it's a tribute to Kurt Cobain.
Oh,
He's
interesting.
done it before.
I had no idea.
He's wearing the Kurt Cobain. When you think of Kurt Cobain, you think of him and the ripped jeans and like the polo shirts. But yeah, he's done that before. But yeah, Kid Cudi's a pretty big Kurt Cobain fan.
Wow.
But yeah, apparently it's a tribute to him. I don't know for sure, but as people may know, Kid Cudi attended an event recently where he wore a wedding dress, and he attended with another male. They were holding hands. So he took it a step further, where people started questioning his sexuality. See if everything's okay. But I don't know. I mean, he says it's a tribute. I heard, it was a tribute rather, but I don't know what's with him, man. And then he had the painted nails to go along with it. Who knows?
Painted nails, I can dig. I'm okay with.
You like that?
I'm okay with painted nails.
Is that right?
I'll paint my own nails,
like different colors each finger.
That's
really?
Perfectly fine with me. I have no issues against that. My mom owns a nail salon. It is what it is. I don't see that in a weird light or anything like that.
So when you go to that nail salon, you're like, Mom, I want to paint your.
I don't paint my own nails, right. But that's not because I think it's like weird or anything. I just don't do it. I don't know. But I can see why, people would think it's like weird or different but like people have been doing it for so long, right? Like
what, like
painted nails?
Oh, painted. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like the whole scene kind of.
Yeah.
like movement that we had in like the early 2000s. Like when I think about painted nails and like guys, I think about like Good Charlotte.
Yes.
And like punk rock bands like from the early 2000s. That's what I think. You know what I mean? I don't really think like, I don't know,
Kid
Cudi, feminism or like feminine kind of thing or whatever. You know, I don't know. I don't really.
I get that,
but I guess it's a little bit odd because Cudi is like a hip hop artist. I don't know too many other hip hop artists that paint their nails.
Yeah, I can't think of any off the top. I believe Young Thug did. I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, that's the lowdown from what I know. He didn't really talk about it too much since. It created a whole stir on the interwebs, but yeah, to each their own. You know, if you want to go ahead and wear wedding dresses, who am I to say he can't? Whatever, it's up to him. In recent news, the Astro World controversy.
Oh yeah,
reached a new high today. $2 billion lawsuit.
Did we even talk about it in the last episode? No, we didn't, right? So give us some context.
Were you not awake for that one either? This guy. So basically, Travis Scott held an event called Astro World a few years ago in reference to his album Astro World. So it was a whole festival. He was going to bring out artists and blah 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 blah. You know, concert, so on and so forth. So there was an incident where a few people got injured and about, I believe, 9 people passed away. One was a 9-year-old kid who actually got trampled. He died from the injuries. So in terms of, I'm kind of confused though, because my understanding was that these 8 other people were injected with something. That's what I heard. I don't know.
They died by being injected?
Apparently.
It wasn't like dying by from
that's my understanding. I don't know if I'm fucking it up. I don't want to give everyone like the wrong information, but from my understanding is that people died from someone injecting them with something. And then the one kid died from trampling, and then a few other people actually got injured from trampling as well.
I guess like the first thing we want to definitely address is like, you know, condolences to the people who happen to like lose family members and stuff like that. You think like them going to a concert, supposedly trying to have the time of their lives,
right? And
then they come out dead.
Yeah.
You know, really unfortunate situation, especially what was going on. Like, and when people think about concerts, they definitely don't think about, you know, people losing their lives.
Right.
One of the biggest questions, why was a 9-year-old there, kind of thing, you know? And like, they're definitely, their parents probably brought this 9-year-old there to go party and go to a fucking Astro World concert. I don't know. It's like, it's a super weird concept, and like, even that many people dying, even one is just too much.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Like any sort of festival, any sort of shit like that, any event is just super sad.
Yeah.
Like I remember in Toronto, when we had Veld, I think one of the years that I went, 2 people died.
Yes, that's right.
From picking up pills supposedly off the floor.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is. I'm not a cop. But in this case, like certain things like that ruin like events. It makes it terrible. Like, yeah, you still have fun and stuff like that, but the sadness of it is just like surrounds that. And like now Travis Scott's got a fucking, you said $2 billion
lawsuit from 200 clients.
Like that's absolutely wild. Like $2 billion. Does he even have $2 billion?
His girl does. I think that's her net worth though, so I don't even think she even has $2 billion. Do I think that they're going to pay out $2 billion? No, definitely.
There's going to be probably tons of settlements. Yeah, I would think.
I think Travis Scott's going to get all the lawyers and what the best lawyers he can possibly hire. I think he'll be all right. In terms of the families that were affected, you know, again, condolences. You know, and then it's a shitty situation. Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. But you know, in terms of future reference, you know, like there has to be like better safety precautions. You know what I mean? Like Michael Jackson friggin' had people fainting left and right, but he had legit huts for people, for paramedics ready and set to go. I mean, Travis, people apparently were screaming at the Travis concert. People apparently were screaming, saying, "Help, help, this guy's having a seizure," and Travis ignored it. I don't know. Again, this is hearsay. From a video clip I saw at one point Travis did stop the show to help somebody out. I mean, there's only so much he can pay attention to during a concert. Um, you know, you know, I don't think intentionally, I just think that there was just a better things that the, security or, better safety precautions that could have been done for the show. Again, just it's a shitty situation, and let's just hope better for the future for any concert goers and or concert havers. But yeah. And other recent news, Young Dolph, a rapper who's been I guess he's been in the game for quite some time. I haven't listened to his music, but he passed away, I believe, yesterday.
I have no idea who that is, but
Mhm.
rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in power.
Yeah.
Condolences to the family.
He got shot going to a bakery shop that he usually goes to. They posted a video where just last week he was promoting the bakery shop, saying it's the best cookies in town, and then he went back yesterday and someone shot him up. But yeah, condolences.
Did they like find out the reasoning for it, or whoever it would have been?
Well, what I'm hearing is that they shot him and then they went to other rappers' places to shoot up their places as well.
So it was literally just like a bunch of people on some fucking murder spree for rappers.
Apparently, I don't know.
What is you doing?
I don't know.
Where was this?
Somewhere in Texas.
Holy shit, man. Yeah. Don't they have that no conceal?
Or is it Memphis? Am I confusing it? Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis or Texas? One of the two. Tennessee or Texas? One of those two states.
Still though, man, that's like super sad.
Yeah.
Like he's probably a young dude too.
38.
Yeah,
38.
Still a young guy.
Has like
man.
2 kids and a wife. But yeah. Condolences, man. Yeah. Young Dolph, man. Let's see. Anything?
I got one more.
Yeah, news. Yeah.
Yeah. Please. So for the individuals, the reason why I'm wearing this Canada hat today as well, World Cup qualifiers. Canada's definitely in a great spot to be able to kind of make it to their first like World Cup, and I think it's Qatar.
Qatar. That's right.
I forget exactly what year it is, but it's to qualify for
2024.
Yeah, 2024, I think, to qualify for the World Cup. And we're actually in probably one of the best spots I've ever personally seen Canada play. And we just have a really good team this year. I only really noticed, I'm not a huge fan of soccer and stuff like that, but I'm definitely repping for them. We played
so you're a bandwagoner.
Oh yeah. I'm a bandwagon Canada soccer fan, that's for sure.
Okay.
What do you want, man? Come on, man. But we recently played a crazy ass game out in Edmonton. It was snowing that day. I think they had like 10 centimeters of snow, and they still played against Mexico. And Mexico's probably never even like played in snow before.
Haven't seen
snow.
It. Probably just did the whole cross thing when they saw it and
fucked up. So huge advantage for the Canadians, and hopefully we make it to the World Cup. I think we're in a pretty good position over the last couple of games, but definitely for those who are interested, check those out. I think our next game is sometime soon, so definitely look that up.
Yeah,
if you are interested.
Go Canada.
Go
More
Canada.
Importantly, go Ghana. West Africa.
Woo!
Yeah. All right. That's all I got for news off the top of my head.
Yeah, off the top of my head, that's all I got too.
All right. I guess we're gonna jump in and. Okay, folks. So here's the episode this week. It's a retrospective. Well, my retrospective and his like 2 sentences of our experience at the Dave Chappelle show at the Scotiabank Arena this past Monday. So for those who weren't aware, Dave Chappelle had a screening of his new documentary at the Scotiabank Arena. He appeared himself and then did some, stand up, and also brought in some guests as well. This is in the height of his whole controversy right now against the LGBTQIA plus community. So yeah, this is a pretty big deal. Place, I believe it's sold out. It looked like, well, it looked packed in the arena.
Yeah.
From what I
Yeah, I think they said it was sold out.
Yeah.
So Dave Chappelle definitely brings fans. Like, even though there is like major controversy around his name, and like I didn't even watch the documentary up until this day, the one before that. And I didn't watch the one on Monday either. Didn't watch that. But we'll get into that. But in this case, he definitely he has a huge fan base. Like, people love him. Like, I love him.
Yeah.
You know, it's Dave fucking Chappelle.
Yeah.
Like, I love the dude. But he had a screening on Monday. Carlos and I and a couple of other friends went.
No protests.
No protest. That was actually the real surprising thing, I think. I thought
like,
we were going to have
a few people just, protesting and, but no, nothing here.
I think the next day, Pride Toronto.
Oh, that's right.
The organization, they released a statement, kind of
disappointed in MLSE for hosting him and whatnot. But I mean, he sold out. So
yeah, the amount of money that he brought
like I'm sure MLSE, I'm sure they can sleep better at night knowing that they made the right call. But but no, overall it was a good event. We'll just give you the deets, or I will give you the deets as to what happened when we got into the arena. So it started off with we got to our seats. Ryan was pretty drunk at this point already. Literally just got there. We're enjoying, everyone's getting to the seats, and there's a DJ playing music, and his name is DJ Trauma. Which, by the way, I was kind of disappointed that he didn't address any like traumatic experiences that he's went through in his life. There was at least something. Like, why do they call you DJ Trauma? Like, why that name? Like, don't you think that there would have been at one point, like, throw your hands up in the air, everybody, throw your hands up in the air, show some love for me as I have some homosexual tendencies, and my wife at home is probably not gonna fucking do anything about it.
And the crowd goes fucking wild, man.
And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God.
Like, this guy's splitting his heart out to us, man.
Yeah, guys. It needs to be addressed.
He did a pretty good job, though, from what I remember.
Yeah,
he had a good couple tunes.
There was some good tunes there.
Didn't he do like a part where he started playing like a certain genre of music or something like that? It wasn't just all like hip hop. There was something else he played. I forget what it was.
I heard 80s music.
Okay, 80s, yeah. It was 80s music. And he's like, okay, I'm switching to 80s. I remember that.
Okay.
That was one of the parts I do remember the name.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
But man.
Yeah. DJ Trauma, no PTSD related issues with him.
Is he big?
I've never heard of him. I believe he is Dave Chappelle's official DJ, though.
It's gotta be someone.
Show some love, everybody, as I have trouble sleeping at night due to the war, and I have no fucking oh shit! And now every time I fucking go into the washroom, I can't help but fucking look into the mirror and not be ashamed, and just be ashamed of the acts I've committed in the war. And then he plays that gunshot. Oh fuck! Mayday! Mayday! Incoming! And you're just like, oh wait, no, never mind. That's me. That's my PTSD. My fault. Everybody, enjoy the fucking show. Nothing.
Oh my God, we're gonna get canceled by veterans, man.
Whatever.
Come on, man.
Anyways, so yeah, DJ Trauma played music, and then the show is about to bring out their guest, which I thought it would be like local talent.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and then he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Ross." Now, to everyone who doesn't know who Jeff Ross is, he's known as the roast master. He basically is like known perfectly in the celebrity world as like the king of roasting. Like, he will go at you and he will destroy you. So he brings him out. I'm just like, oh shit, it's actually Jeff Ross, and he's telling jokes.
He had a long stand-up too.
Yeah,
wasn't it a good like 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Almost, or something,
and it was
like
good.
He was up there for quite a while.
Yeah, he was up there. He was just addressing a few things. He addressed the Meghan Markle thing. That was probably like the standout. Meghan Markle, talk about how she, she's such a great detective, figuring out that her family's racist. And then he's just like, oh, no shit. You think of white family who wears crowns to dinner, who's been, taking over countries for centuries, is not a fan of colored people. No shit. And, he dressed shit like that. He talked about his dog and how he had to put it down. He was making jokes.
I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember
He was about to inject the dog with the needle. And then Jeff's like, well, wait, you know what? Never mind. I changed my mind.
Shout out to Jeff Ross. That was actually
that
great
was
stand-up.
hilarious.
I remember
That
the
was
full.
hilarious.
I actually remember pretty much all of that.
Yeah.
He did a great
is it
job.
coming along?
It is. Now that we're actually sitting there talking
Yeah.
about it, it's definitely coming along.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fun.
Good. Let's
Yeah, we'll try to grab as much as we possibly can. In this case, so Jeff Ross, he did a great job.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeff Ross. I would love to see your own individual show. That's great. We had the next stand-up that came out. I forget her name.
Sam J.
She was actually
She
funny
was
as hell.
hilarious.
She was funny
She
as
was
fuck.
so funny.
I don't know if she's from Toronto.
No,
I doubt it, right?
No.
But Sam J, go check her out. Great
She has a
comedian.
show on HBO Max.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yeah. She's funny as fuck.
But
Yeah,
that was
check her.
fucking
No,
hilarious.
that was hilarious. She was just talking about how she's a lesbian and she's saying how like scissoring is like too gay for her. She's just like, no, just like I'd rather not do that. How white people are so free, when they do shrooms and they're dancing off beat. Normally she'd be like, that's weird, but when she's on shrooms, she analyzes it and realizes, you know what? They're just so free. They're just so careless.
I remember that too.
You do now.
I do.
I think this episode.
She was very funny.
Yes.
I remember that. I remember like looking around and be like, this girl's killing.
No,
it.
she's actually
everyone's
no,
laughing.
she was actually like hilarious. Like no, she definitely stood out in the show. So no, Sam J, if you listen, well done on your part. You know what I think this episode's gonna be is just me recalling the episode and seeing what you can remember. Just seeing what you remember.
It's supposed to be a review for a whole show.
We're legit filling in the blanks today. We are filling in the blanks today to figure out what exactly you remember from the show.
Okay, so after Sam J came out,
yeah.
I had to be at least like 4 tall cans deep. And the tall cans, if you're not familiar with the the Scotiabank Center, I almost said Air Canada.
Oh boy.
But the Scotiabank Center, they're huge. They're bigger than the tall cans you can buy in the beer store.
But it is called the Air Canada. Are you still drunk?
What are you talking about?
It's Air Canada.
Scotiabank.
That's Air Canada.
But I probably had like 4 of them by the time Dave Chappelle wasn't even on yet. I remember that.
Yeah, he was.
I remember.
Are you still?
Okay, wait. So Sam J came out. Sam J came out, did her thing, killed it, and then I remember the documentary coming on. That's what So what happened then?
Oh,
so Dave came out.
No. What happened was.
Okay, so I'm missing a.
You're missing that whole block. Let's fill this out together.
Fill me in.
All right. So after Sam J finished, Jeff Ross came back again, and he brought people to the stage to roast them.
I don't remember that whatsoever. So
God.
that at this point, this is Ryan, fucking gone. Like
you went
already gone,
full-fledged out of it. You're done.
Yeah. I don't remember this.
Oh my
I don't remember
God.
that at all. I remember Sam J, and I remember laughing at Sam J's jokes, and then I remember waking up to the documentary part, and then I remember yakking, and then I remember Dave Chappelle. We'll get into that, and then I remember Dave Chappelle, and that was it.
Jesus. All right, so let's go back to this whole Jeff. So Jeff Ross, after Sam J her hilarious set was finished, Jeff Ross came back and he asked for a few people to come to the stage. So he asked for the people. So he roasted one chick, this one Asian chick, and he asked for her name. She said her name, and then he raised his hand and he's like, "Congratulations on winning the Squid Game."
Oh my God.
And that was one funny one. He called one fat chick a transgender. He basically.
I'm surprised he even brought that.
Yeah,
up.
right. But he did it.
Shit.
No fucks given. I love it. And then there was this one old guy, and he came forward, and the crowd is going nuts for this old dude. And Jeff's like, "Who is this fucking famous guy?" And then then Jeff goes up to him. He's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "I'm Oliver the Jeweler."
Get the fuck out of here! He was on there. What did I miss? Fuck.
Yeah, man.
That's hilarious.
And then, it's like, "What do you do for a living?" And then he grabs the mic and he's just like, "Oh yeah!" And the whole place went nuts. The whole place went insane.
Did you look at me when that happened?
Fuck no! I was paying attention to the show.
God damn.
What, dude?
I was probably like,
Yeah, 100%. Probably, dude. The whole place was going nuts. Everyone was. It was legit a standing ovation for the guy.
Fuck, that's so good.
It
Shout
was
out to all of the
amazing.
Julia. You're a
This guy.
fucking. You are a top citizen in
You're a legend.
Toronto.
A legend of the
You're
game.
literally a legend in the game in
Yeah,
Toronto.
man.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I hope your business is doing well.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck, man, that's
Dude,
crazy.
You missed it, dude. It was hilarious. Jeff, he was always trying to grab the mic from Jeff. Jeff's like, chill, chill. And then he just pushed it back to go back.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
Jeweler.
Oh, brother. What
That's
other
crazy.
ones were standouts from the people he roasted? There was one dude who brought on, he had a really hot girlfriend.
Oh
And-
yeah.
yeah. And he's like, this is your girl? He's like, yeah. What the fuck? How does this make sense? How does it like it's like how you're dating this guy? And she's like, yeah. You're like, yeah, he makes me happy. It's like, I would fuck him to get to you.
Oh my god.
And then
Man.
he spotted this brown dude. He's like, okay, let's bring up no fly list over here. So
Man,
yeah,
I missed it.
you missed it.
I missed a good.
You missed
stand-up.
it. It was
Wow.
great.
I thought she's super
He
sad.
did his thing that he's known for. He roasted people,
Yeah.
and you missed it.
Okay, so then after this,
Oh dear.
what happened?
Then the documentary came.
So
up.
did Dave Chappelle come in?
No.
Okay, so the documentary started playing.
Yes.
Because from what I remember, I don't remember. I just remember images of the documentary, but
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was about. And then I remember it was long though. I do remember it was quite long. It felt like it was at least like 30 minutes.
What, the documentary?
Yeah. How long was it?
It was like an hour and a half. It was like almost 2
Oh
hours.
my god, man.
Half hour.
I remember it being long. I thought it was like half an hour. I'm like, man, this is a long fucking documentary. 'Cause I remember waking up.
God.
I definitely passed out of my seat. But I remember waking up at certain points and be like, okay, the documentary's still going. It's still going. Cool.
Yeah.
I should be listening to this, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then finally it gets to the end of the documentary, and then that's
Let's
when everyone's
talk about what happened in the
okay. So what happened in the documentary?
Yeah.
Please tell me. So I don't remember exactly what the documentary was
So
about.
it starts off with it talks about basically the documentary is about him hosting comedy shows in his hometown in Ohio during the pandemic.
Okay, I do remember that.
Yes. So it starts off with talking about the George Floyd incident. It shows a few clips from that incident. Just saying, with the pandemic and what's going on with the BLM movement, it's a shitty situation they're living in. So he's just like, you know what, I just want to make the world laugh again. So he hosts a show in his hometown. For his hometown, it addresses the businesses that are, being, that are losing money, losing business due to the, pandemic. So he has a few friends come down. So a few celebrity or comedians that came by. So Bill Burr, Chris Rock was one. Kevin Hart came in. Jon Stewart, Tiffany Haddish came through.
Wow.
Even Erykah Badu and Common even came in, performed a few songs. But yeah, he hosted shows for like 50 plus shows in his area. And it talks about all that. And then there was one point where they thought they were going to shut it down. The town was going to shut it down due to complaints that they were receiving. So they had a whole town call about it where they talked to the townspeople. Most of them are just like, yeah, no, I don't mind whatsoever. I think it's great. He's bringing people in, bringing money for businesses. People are laughing again, so they continued the shows. But then somebody in that area got COVID. So they got nervous. So they had to shut everything down. And then that's basically how the documentary ends. And then as soon as the documentary ends, Dave Chappelle himself comes to the stage.
Let me throw this in here for quickly. So
Yes.
I have a dear friend. And she actually works at a nearby restaurant outside of the Scotiabank Theater.
Yeah.
And she was working that night. And I told her that I went to the Dave Chappelle show and that I wanted to walk into her restaurant. I'm not going to say exactly which one, but I wanted to walk to her restaurant either before the show or after the show, just grab a drink and say what's up to her.
Yeah.
And then she told me that during the documentary part of the Dave Chappelle show, people were walking back into the restaurant saying how terrible the show was so far.
Really?
Yeah. So they were like, oh, like, didn't you just leave the restaurant to go to the Dave Chappelle show down the street? Because this restaurant's literally a couple minutes, like a walk away from. And then she was telling me how there was regular customers that go there all the time. They're saying like, yeah, the show was like shitty. Dave Chappelle wasn't even out yet, and it was already like 2 hours in the, or 3 hours in the show, or 2 hours in the show, and then they were making me watch this documentary that I didn't want to watch, and it was like a shitty documentary. I don't know, but to those people, yeah.
Yo, who are these motherfuckers? So wait, they're regulars at the Harbor 60?
Well,
it's not no secret.
Yeah, but okay, so in this case, they're supposed to be customers at Harbor 60 or the restaurant in itself, and they're saying how the show sucked because Dave Chappelle wasn't even out yet, and they were watching this whole documentary. So they left the show to go back to the restaurant.
Listen, you fucking cunts, you fucking idiots. What did you think was gonna, did you not see the poster? It literally says documentary on it. What did you think was gonna happen?
I don't know.
You, are they even fans of Dave?
I have no idea. But
you pussies, you fucking idiots. You listen, no. Let me tell you something. You fucking idiots. You think life is easy, don't you? Or you think, oh, Dave is gonna, oh, Dave's just gonna go in there. So what do you expect Dave to do? Just stand there by like, oh, that's me. That's Dave Chappelle. No. It doesn't work like that. It says Dave Chappelle Untitled Documentary plus special guest. It includes the guests, they tell their jokes, then they show the documentary, then after the documentary is done, Mr. Chappelle himself comes out and then he talks to the people. That's how it works. You little shits. You fucking, you know what? I hope when the show was over, did they go back after? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I hope that when the show was over, I hope that when you got your pouches, that you fucking lost it, and that you fucking lost your phone, and you fucking locked it into that pouch for the rest of your life, you little shits. By the way,
explain the pouches.
Dave Chappelle has this thing where basically he doesn't like cell phones at his shows. Taking pictures and shit, it really takes away from the moment, and I agree with him and I commend him for it. So good for you, Mr. Chappelle. But yeah, he makes you lock up your pouches in a little pouch thing, and you get to hold on to your phone, and but it's just locked in, so you can't like make phone calls or take pictures or anything like that during the show, which is good, and I appreciate that. But the way it ended, we'll get on how it ended afterwards. But yeah, for you fucking regular fans, fuck you. You
missed a good show.
Yes, a great show.
From what I remember.
You fucking, how do you not, you didn't like the Jeff Ross and Sam J bit? You fucking pussies. Fuck you. You don't know comedy. You find fucking, what's a weird ass, you find those fucking, you laugh at Jake Paul videos. Fuck you. Anyways, going back to the show. Getting me all heated.
Sorry,
shit.
But that was part of it. That was definitely part of it.
Fuck those people.
That's funny.
That show was fantastic. Anyways, going back, Mr. Chappelle himself comes out.
I remember that.
Asks people.
I remember that.
Standing ovation. Please sit down. He says, you know what? Instead of me just talking, I'm just gonna do a full-on set. So the crowd goes nuts. You know, he's gonna do some stand-up. He addresses the whole trans thing by saying, you know, I was supposed to go back to my high school, and they had to postpone it because
I do remember this.
People protested it. But you know, it's all good. It's whatever. It's a thing that I didn't even want to go anyway, so I'm not really I'm not no hard feelings or anything about it. But yeah, he addressed a few other things. What else did he talk about? He talked about how there was a guy standing out of his house being a racist and shit, shaking the fence. And Dave Chappelle had like a little pistol with him, and he was prepared to shoot him with it. But then his Asian wife was following him, And knowing his Asian wife, he was prepared for her to run him over because apparently since she's Asian, that she's a bad driver. Yeah, he went in. He said that he basically said that, you know what, the Asians are the new trends tonight.
I remember the Asian jokes.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember like quite a bit of them.
Yeah.
Super, super funny.
Yeah.
You know, Dave's definitely known not to hold back against anybody.
No.
No matter who you are.
Right.
At that point in time.
He includes everybody. He's he's inclusive. So that's the whole point of this whole controversy that's going on right now, that he includes them. So like, if they're going to be against being made fun of, then you're basically being secluded, and he doesn't want you, you know, he wants you to be included into the jokes, because at the end of the day, I think it's more humanizing to show that, you know, they can take jokes but yeah, I don't know. That's my opinion on the situation. But yes, he said a few other jokes. He made this one joke that, you know, he was worried his wife was cheating on him. And, you know, so he looked at her phone, and he knows how to get in because it has face unlock. So he makes like a really racist Asian face to unlock the phone. Oh boy. Yeah.
I missed that one.
Yeah, that was interesting. He was talking about how, you know, he was married to his wife for 20 plus years now. He talked to a couple in the show, in the audience. He's saying that, you know, there's a few things you can do to make sure that, you know, the relationship works. Make sure, you know, he said one of them was, you know, I don't count anything. I don't count money. I do remember this. Yeah. You know, I don't count responsibilities. Keep this in mind. I don't count. Do you get it? He doesn't count. He doesn't.
Oh,
he doesn't count.
Damn. Ooh.
And then
You're Dave Chappelle, man.
And then the last thing he says was, "I cheat." I make sure not to get caught, and he went on this whole thing. What other jokes did he say that were pretty solid? You know, he mentioned that, you know, the trans community is not really, you know, he's not the favorite right now, but you know, just if you see a trans person, just go ahead and buy them a coffee. And when they ask you, why are you doing this? Just say, Dave Chappelle says hi.
So even to hear it again is a funny part.
Oh shit. Yeah. And then he brought out Cardinal Official.
Oh yeah, that was huge.
Which was,
I do remember that.
Yeah,
great. I remember the
performer.
Yeah, that was a great
performer. Just
was it so tired. Was it the wrong place?
Wrong crowd.
Wrong crowd.
It was the wrong crowd. Yeah. Not the right crowd.
Yeah.
Not the great. You know, maybe if it was like Drake, I don't think people would stand up still. Yeah. I don't know. Just we were not in the mood to dance or to. It
was just more like, hey, you're gonna go see a comedy show.
Right.
I kind of want to just.
I want to sit down and just laugh
and like hang out and laugh and see some funny shit.
Yeah.
Maybe listen to a little bit of music here and there. That's why the John Mayer one was so good.
Yes.
Like, so for me and Carlos have seen Dave Chappelle twice now. Yeah. Our first time was actually, or at least my first time.
Mine too.
We were out in Montreal, and he did a show in Montreal with John Mayer, kind of like a partner, a 1 and 2 punch kind of skit or show. Is great.
You know, John Mayer performed a few songs first, and then he brought out Dave. Dave said some jokes. In terms of comedy, I think this show was better than his comedy was better than the Montreal one, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. It was really funny. Yeah. He was really funny in this one. You know, he talked about, he just like, he talked for like quite some time.
Yeah. It was a good like 2 hours. It felt like an hour and a half.
Yeah. It was solid though, man. It was really like he went in. It could have been a whole ass comedy special, really.
I remember the last 30 minutes of the show being really wholesome.
Like, for sure.
Like,
you just, you know, he talked about, you know, him forgive, you know, he didn't really address it as the trans thing, but he's just like, you know, when you make a mistake, just forgive yourself, because there's no need to hold on to it. You know, when you say something like the comments I did, just like, you know, you feel guilty for that one day, but then the next day, just look in the mirror and just say, whoops. But yeah, no, just and that was a good message. Just realistically, just like, you know, if you ever feel guilty about something, just like, feel guilty about it for just that one day, but then just move on. There's no need to hold on to something for so long. And whatever is it's if you're ever get canceled for some reason, whatever get canceled can never die. Keep that in mind. That being said, I just wanted to address a few communities on the chill, man. Chill. I
just want to let you know that you computer programmers,
you fucking
motherfucking make me sick.
Yeah, y'all can eat a dick. I don't give a fuck. I'd free my homie Dollar because he ain't do shit.
But
chill, man. You know what? Free Robert No. Chill.
I was gonna feel guilty for one day.
And then I'm gonna look in the mirror the next day and say, whoops.
The good thing about Dave Chappelle is that he's a real it seems like a down to earth person. And he's just been through so much experience and like life that he just knows how to approach certain things and he knows how to communicate properly.
Right.
I guarantee for anybody who does not like Dave Chappelle due to his recent actions in the news, if you saw that last 30 minutes, which is what I remember a majority of his stand-up.
Oh, Jesus.
It was really wholesome, very, very powerful in the words that he says, and it can relate to anybody. So even like when Carlos said, it's like Dave Chappelle said it was like, you say something, you make a decision, you can hate yourself for it, but you be guilty for that one moment in time, feel bad about it, cry about it, do what you need to do, and then you get over it and then move on from that. And I think that piece of advice can go for anybody realistically, no matter if you like Dave Chappelle or you don't. That's the great thing about Dave. Dave comes out and he's just being himself, being the person that the world loves. There's definitely the community that he offended, most likely, I would say, but in this case, Dave has created laughter for millions and millions of people.
Thousands that night.
I think it was like over I think there was at least 30,000 people there or something like that. Yeah.
It's pretty crowded, man.
Just the show in itself, I would 100% go again and not try to drink so much this time.
Speaking of that, let's talk about your adventures that night. So,
oh my God, man,
let's address that. Like, so let's talk about your drinking. Okay, so that night,
so that night, we're all really, really excited to go see Dave.
Right.
It was a Monday night, which I made the mistake of feeling it was a Friday or a Saturday or something like that. Before we even got to this show, I had a half a bottle of wine, which was already probably too much. Got on the subwayed my ass all the way down to the Scotiabank Theater, met two of my buddies. We walked into the show. I bought myself a beer. Before we even sat down at the show in the arena, I already finished a beer and a half, I think it was, or something like that. And those beers are pretty big.
They're quite big.
And they're really fucking expensive in the Scotiabank. I think it was like $20 for one of them.
Well, I mean, because they only make money. Like the most money they make is from like the food and shit.
Yeah. It was wild. Man.
Oh yeah, it's not cheap.
I remember just being like, okay, it's one of those nights now. I'm already you're too deep to leave.
You can't turn back now. This mission's already started.
The one thing that I do hate myself about is that I missed Dave's stand-up. Not so much the documentary, which I probably wish I got to see. I remember a majority of what's his name, Jeff Ross's first stand-up.
Jesus Christ.
The second stand-up, I don't remember the whole freaking roasting part whatsoever. I was probably past the fuck out at this point in time.
Probably.
But in this case, I'm glad that I got to go because majority of what I do remember, it was a wonderful, wonderful show. And from what I'm hearing, from my friends' experiences, they had a great, great time. Dave Chappelle is one of those people that you don't want to miss out in life. If you have the opportunity to go see him,
regardless of how you feel.
Regardless of how you're feeling or whether you're awake or not, it was definitely a great time. So
let's talk about your. Did you yak that night?
Oh yeah.
Boy.
I remember just being. I think one part of the documentary. I remember waking up. Part of the documentary was going on, and then I remember just like, okay, I have to yak. So I literally got up, put my mask on really quickly, and then sped walk to the closest washroom to where our seats was, jump into the first stall, and just yak in the toilet. Sat there for a second, and I'm kind of like, all right, I think I'm all right. And then I stood up for a second, and then just yacked again. Cleaned myself up, went to go sit down, listened to a little bit of it, and I think I passed the fuck out for another like 10 or 15 minutes. And then it happened again.
Oh, Jesus.
And then after that, I was kind of like just fine. I wasn't really yakking anymore or anything like that, but I was just super, super tired, because you're drunk, tired, or whatever, and you just need to sleep.
Sure.
So it hit that point. And then for some odd reason, in the last 30 minutes of Dave Chappelle standing there, I actually watched the whole last 30 minutes of it. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally we started leaving, and it was a fucking...
You're not gonna talk about the homeboy and the other stall?
Oh, okay. So at one point, I hope he's doing okay. Fuck. But at one point when I went to the yak, I think my second time in the washroom, there was this dude in the stall beside me just fucking laid out on the floor. And none of his boys were in the washroom or anything like that. I think he was just by himself. So I think when I got out of the stall, I like knocked on it. I'm like, yo, are you good? Like, I remember just being like, yo, are you okay? And he was like, yeah. And then my buddy was like, yo, Ryan, let's go, or whatever like that, right? So we went back to our seats. But yeah, I hope you're doing okay, man. Fuck. Like, I thought I was bad, but I was kind of like, okay, I'll yak. I'm good. I'll yak. And then that guy just probably had 2 times more than I did that night. But
Jesus Christ.
And then I remember buying 2 fucking slices of pizza.
Yeah.
Which probably costed me like
What, for like $40?
probably like $40, literally.
Jesus.
Oh, that was another thing. Checking my Visa statement the next morning.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh God, man. What a night.
I don't even want to know. Was it that bad?
I think I spent like $240 or something like that night. Just on like strictly drinks. We even got shots of tequila that I didn't even remember.
You did?
Yeah.
At the arena?
Yeah, until my buddy told me about it. I don't remember that. But yeah, no. Wow. Yeah, that night was fucking ridiculous.
On a Monday. And you had work the next day.
Oh yeah, I had work the next day. It was fucking terrible. I don't even know how I bust my ass home. The funny part, right when not to get into the end part, but when we dispersed from each other,
yeah,
I started walking away from the arena, but I didn't realize where I was going because I was so like out of it. And then I remember just getting like so far east, which is the opposite way where I was supposed to be going. And I'm like, where the hell am I going? I think I was walking for a good 20 minutes before I really realized where the hell I was. So I had to walk all the way back.
Jesus Christ.
The opposite way in Toronto.
Jesus Christ.
Finally got my ass home around like 1 or something like that, I think. 1:30. Threw all my clothes off and passed the fuck out.
Wow.
God, man. So my review is absolutely horrible of the night because majority of it I spent either sleeping or yakking or a beer in
Just being inebriated.
Yeah, just not good. It was not good. But it does not take away from me recommending going to see a Dave Chappelle show. So if you do have the opportunity to do it, please go check it out.
Right.
The Untitled Documentary was fantastic. From what I do remember.
For the 5 minutes that you saw. This dude only saw Dave Chappelle for 2 seconds, and then it's the end credits.
Shit.
The end. Then he saw the end credits.
Now we get kicked out of this place.
Yeah. This guy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There was at one point where one of our friends went missing.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, because there was 8 of us that went, and I look at the end of the seats, and one of our boys is gone. I'm like, where is this dude? And we're all just like, oh. So we just wait. So we're just watching the show, and then we end it. And then he comes up, then we find him, and he's like, yo, where you been? He's like, yo, during the movie, I just went downstairs. It was like an open seat. I just sat there. I just went down, and it was an open seat. And I just went there and sat there. And I shook the man's hand. I'm like, oh, you shook Dave Chappelle's hand? I was like, yeah, bro, it was sick. And then they posted the pictures online on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And we found the picture. He's in the picture. Oh, my God.
For those who have never seen Dave or never watched any of his stand-ups before, he actually smokes cigarettes while he's doing his stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
While he's up there, he'll probably smoke like half a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And when we got to talk to our buddy at the end of the show, he was like, I honestly could smell this guy's cigarette smoke. That's how close I was. And we're all like fanboying for a second. We're like, holy shit, man, that's fucking wild. But yeah, Dave, man.
Yeah, it was a good show though. Overall, yeah, good time.
Yeah.
But then news broke out that freaking Dave Chappelle was with Kanye and Drake.
Oh yeah, holy shit.
At the restaurant that you were talking about. So we're just like, fuck.
Yeah, I think we got out of the arena around 12:30 or something like that.
12:30.
12:30.
Yeah.
We all eventually start making our way home. And then I hear from my friend that happens to work at Harbor 60. She was like, man, Kanye, Drake, and Dave Chappelle were all at the restaurant around like 1 a.m.
Damn.
I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, if we just waited, went into the restaurant, we probably could have caught them, maybe said what's up.
Yeah.
Really, really cool.
They ended their beef.
Yeah, they ended their beef. So for those who don't know,
in the good homeland of Toronto, we could have seen it live. It would have been a scoop of a lifetime for the blank. But what can you do?
Super interesting night.
Yes, very interesting night, especially for the sober. This is just a good PSA to don't watch your liquor.
Don't drink too much on a good show.
When you buy tickets and tickets aren't cheap.
Yeah.
Don't drink as much.
It was worth every penny though, that night.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. I had a great time with you guys.
Oh Jesus.
I thought it was tons of fun.
I only talked to you for like 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, I know.
And then you just went.
Yeah, I know. I was just
there was at one point where you talked about how his security guard was like he said he was like really handsome and he could sing. He's one of those dudes who's like jacked as fuck that can kill you, and then he'll be the one singing at your funeral. So then at one point Dave stops the show. He's like, oh, what's wrong? He's looking at the security teams like, is everything okay? And then he's looking at his audio, he's like, hang on. And then he goes to the corner. And then the security guard grabs a microphone, and then he starts singing "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye."
I do remember that too, actually.
Yeah,
that was a good fucking.
And he fucking started, and I remember this is the only time I've seen Ryan actually awake. Ryan standing up with his arms out, singing the words, looking at me and pointing at me as he sings.
So
oh my god! I'm just like, oh shit, here we go. But yeah. That was also a pretty big highlight. Dude can sing though.
Oh yeah,
dude can sing. I'll give him that. Funny show overall. That was a great show. But that's my recollection of the show. Is there any questions that you have that you may have missed?
No, I can't even say anything. Honestly, I just remember being so glad being home that night, getting home safe, and then being able to kind of go see Dave. I definitely want to go see him again in life. So hopefully we get the opportunity. Hopefully Dave comes back to Toronto, and then for those who didn't happen to make it to the show, definitely get yourself tickets. We can even squad up and all go together. I promise I won't drink this much the next time, but it was definitely
have a quick intervention for Ryan before the show. It's like, hey dude, listen, this can't be like last time. But I'll have you read letters to Ryan to show him how much you care. Why not just have an intervention episode where you just talk about your drinking habits?
I'll quit.
What?
I'll quit the whole damn show.
Wow. I'm just gonna come. I don't care. I'll still shoot it here. I don't give a fuck. I'll still come here and come in.
Are you done yet?
Get the fuck out of sleep. This guy's a half-ass naked with a beer in his head. Get the fuck out of here. I'm shooting it.
30 minutes left. All right.
That's it.
Let me know.
Fuck, man. Oh
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Monday
nights. Yeah, it was shitty that it had to have been a Monday night. I mean, obviously, I wish it was a Friday, but at the same time, that would have been wild. Oh, I'd probably join you in the knockout game there.
I feel like the shows that happen in Toronto, like big events like that, always happen on like odd nights. Yeah, like I can't think of any off the top of my head. Like some concerts they go on like Fridays and Saturdays and stuff like that. But sometimes when big names come into the city, they'll play on like a Monday or a Tuesday or something like that.
And you have work the next day. That sucks. But yeah,
the life of a celebrity. They don't really live on 9 to 5 time, Monday to Friday.
Yeah, man, that's the life, sir. That's the life. Oh boy, are we moving into final thoughts or?
Yeah. So give me your final thoughts on the Dave Chappelle.
Overall, great
show in
show.
itself.
Documentary was it was okay. It wasn't spectacular or anything, but it was a nice documentary there. Show was great. Jeff Ross was great. Sam J was great. Dave obviously was great. Cardinal, great performer, just wasn't the right crowd. And overall, it's a great performance. Overall, great event, great night. And whoever tells you otherwise is probably a fucking loser that doesn't even see comedy, that doesn't even watch comedy. Haven't watched comedy a day in their fucking life. You fuckers. Fuck you. And I hope I hope your food was cold. You fucking got salmonella from fucking
Oh my God,
less cooked steak. Although I hear the food is great there, so no disrespect. And the people are fantastic there, so top notch. So if you're ever in town, go there. It's a great place and fantastic service. And shout out to our homegirl. You know who you are. But yeah, fuck you to those customers.
Oh my God, man. Okay, this is
Yeah.
Thank you for joining today's episode.
Oh, is that it?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
So
I
my
was
final
gonna say.
thoughts on the show. It was definitely worth it. Dave Chappelle's always one of those people. I think he's one of those gems in life that you don't want to miss out on. I think that Dave's going to be remembered past our generations. The production of stuff.
In my opinion, I think he's the greatest of all time.
Like, I think he's going to be known as the greatest of all time for a long fucking time. And the thing about it is that some of the stuff that he's just produced in life, it just goes unforgotten. All of his stand-ups. I hate to talk about the Chappelle Show because I know that he's not a supporter of it anymore because of Comedy Central and the whole dramatics behind that.
Yeah.
And we might talk about that in another episode, but
some say it's the greatest sketch comedy show of all time.
But the production of stuff and the entertainment that Dave Chappelle has given to the world is honestly another level of stuff in life. And if you don't appreciate it, I can fully understand. Some people just aren't a fan of that kind of stuff, and we can't hold that against you. But Dave Chappelle is undeniably one of the best human beings, I guess, in the world. I would say.
Yeah.
So that's why I really wanted to do this episode. I remember even yelling at Carlos, being like, "Yo, our episode this week is gonna be about Dave Chappelle."
And I looked at him just like he will not know what to talk about.
But really, when I heard Ryan call me, it's
yeah, and I'm just like, what is he saying? Yeah, but overall, thank you for joining us this week. Tune in next week where Ryan might be sober.
I will be. I'm sober today.
Yeah. Well, so that's all. I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is The Blank with Carlos and Ryan. And remember, folks, fill it. No, fuck you, you Harbor 60 restaurant bitches. You cunts. Fuck you. Fill it in, though. Fill it in.
Fill it in.